Good morning. It's day 4 of week 10 on Urban Agoge. Yeah, that was a pretty good run. Definitely coming to the conclusion that you start to push yourself a lot more once you've been running for a while. And I've only been running for a couple of months, if that. We're not even at the end of week 10, and I only started running in week 3. So yeah, you do kind of find yourself going, right, I can do better than this. So instead of running for 12 minutes, 1 minute hard, 1 minute slow, I ran for 15 and got a distance of 1:38, 1 mile 38, or 1.38 miles. And that was cross country on my preferred running track. But that means that I am as fast in 15 minutes, as I was the last time I ran the distance, pretty much. So yeah, so I do feel that I'm getting faster and I'm getting more capable and able to run more, which is excellent. So I'm liking that. Ooh. It's been lovely weather for the last couple of days. Hopefully everything's dried out. There's lots of insects about. And the UK is due to get a heat wave, so that'll be fun. But this is Manchester. We might get temperatures of 20 odd or 25 Celsius, but nothing we can't handle on the walk. It's definitely going to be t-shirts and maybe a jumper for the evenings. So yes. So the thing that I was thinking about last night, this is sort of like Quaker's revelations, I was moved by the Spirit to talk to you today. So yeah, I was kind of moved to talk to you guys today. And there's a lot of people out there that spend an awful lot of time protesting, and I get that. I get that you've got to show disagreement. I'm not entirely sure whether anybody cares unless there's money in it. Like CFCs and dolphin friendly tuna. Those things get won pretty quick as soon as you organise people. But yeah. It's a bit like the term jihad, which has got a lot of negative connotations, this idea of a holy war. But a lot of interpretations of the Quran actually see it as the struggle within oneself. And certainly the concept is interestingly used in Dune as an external thing. But I wonder what would happen if enough people had their own inner revolution, where they took one look at the expected programming of, eating terrible food, not getting exercise, sitting around watching television, being slowly, brainwashed into allowing the status quo to continue. And imagine people like en masse turning away from that. Eating better, getting exercise, becoming fitter, more capable. And, if you're not 100% able-bodied, then, the exercise thing isn't so much in, but you're probably okay to improve your diet. You're probably okay to improve your data diet as well. Start watching, documentaries on things that are actually important. Don't stop watching reality television. It's not reality. It's like one of the biggest misnomers ever, pretending that this is a reality. Because it isn't. It isn't anything like. So yeah, I find that pretty interesting. Sort of like, okay, let's turn the revolution inwards. And go, right, what are the ways in which, I can upgrade my existence. Because the weird thing is I suppose like a lot of drugs that are pushed on us, like tobacco and alcohol and sugar and excess salt and stuff, once you stop doing them, you're vaguely tempted every so often. Like I nearly had pizza and ice cream last night, nearly went back to type. But then I looked at it, and I looked at the, 2,000 odd calories that would entail. And I just seemed to be, it seemed to be sort of like, I'm essentially sabotaging myself. And I was like, do I really want to do that? Do I, Anyway, it's just a thing. But, sort of how far would you take that revolution? How far can you unplug? You're going to have to deal with major corporations at some point. But, you're going to have to deal with inequality. But you can, learn to start seeing people as functional, as potentially functional. Maybe not all of them, but, you can see it's not too impossible to see people being capable, especially since if you've been doing the agoge, or if you do at some future time do the agoge, by the time you get to week 10, you're kind of like, okay, bring it. I've had a look ahead. Yeah, it gets harder. Yes, you're doing more circuit training, but really, it is kind of geared to, gradual improvements, and I think that's the key. So if you wanted to be more inclusive, that would just be a case of very gradual improvements. If you want to be fitter, it's gradual improvements. If you want a healthier diet, it's gradual improvements. But if people were gradually improving themselves and sort of going, right, okay, there's some serious stuff in the world, they've got very little influence, but collectively I could have greater influence. See, I think, one popular documentary that really grabs everybody's imagination is more powerful than a protest. I think certain things, I definitely think that, something like The Tipping Point, or, an environmental documentary that really resonates with people will have more impact than a 10,000 person demonstration. So yeah, I think the thing is to make the revolution internal, and then you make it accessible to other people, which is kind of the point of this. Whew. So yeah, where else could you, how do you revolt? How do we become revolting? And I think some of it is learning new skills, being something, or being capable of way more than your job. And I know there are some jobs, I think teachers are, running at full capacity. I think that, doctors and nurses are already doing everything. I think care workers are probably doing anything, but, how much time off? I think if you're just working, like your total work hours are around 40 a week, you've got, say you're working eight hours a day, 5 days a week, and then you've got, how many hours are in a week? 7 times 24, 140. 8 times 7. How many hours are in a week? So 125 minus 5 is 120. Plus 48. So 168 hours a week. You're going to spend 52 of them. You're still going to have about 40 hours a week that's your time. Now some of that's going to be spent commuting. So you've still got 30 hours a week. So yeah. 30 hours a week for a revolution in yourself. Obviously you've probably got family commitments in that, but if you can, you know, spare an hour a week, then you can do all sorts of things that you don't even have to leave the house in some of them. So yeah, I don't know what constitutes a revolution. I think I'm definitely of the opinion that learning more skills is a revolutionary thing. We're supposed to be single use as far as the corporations are concerned. We do a thing, they're not remotely interested in what we're doing outside of that. Can you then build an entirely new separate economy outside of that? Is there a general way out? So yeah, it's just my thought. It's like an internal revolution that I'm undertaking right now, and hopefully encouraging other people to do it. So yeah, how do we do that? If you cook your own food from raw ingredients, you kind of seize in the means of production from the fast food industry. I suppose if you got a 3D printer, you would seize the means of production for just gadgets and stuff. Or certainly reconfiguring those gadgets. I don't know. That's what comments are for. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave it there. I've had my run. I've talked into the camera. I've got loads of stuff to do. It's a very packed week next week. I'm hoping to get quite a bit done. I think given that I'll be very busy with a friend here next week, I can't promise that I'm going to do all of week 11 or week 9 in the Army Fitness course. Especially given that we'll be filming a fairly big 2-day event. There'll be other things that we're doing. I'm definitely planning to take a trip and go and do something interesting on at least the Friday, if not the Friday and the Saturday. So it might be difficult to do. So although I'll be getting plenty of exercise, I'll be doing a 40-mile hike. And I definitely want to travel about a bit because it's my week off and I don't usually get a week off. So yeah, we'll see next week. If I can manage to pack everything in for next week, I will. But I think it's fairly foolish to do a 5k run on Monday and then try and do a 40-mile hike with a pack. So yes, maybe I can swap it round. Maybe I can swap around Friday's long walk or Friday's or Sunday's long walk and do running instead. Maybe I'll be able to flip around the days and do that, but I don't think I'll be doing any exercise Monday or Tuesday. But that still leaves Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. So if I could do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Sunday, that could be okay. But yeah, I'd like to actually get stuff done next week. I might even be going cold turkey from cigarettes. Don't know. That would certainly help me out, health-wise, endurance-wise. I'll live longer and I'll have a lot more money, because I'm spending nearly £100 a month on cigarettes, so it's like $130. That could easily go to much better use. So yes, let's see. So yeah, with those many and varied and unorganised thoughts in mind, thanks for watching and do take care.